For 5 years, Song Yinching neither ate, slept, nor even used the restroom. All for one goal, beating a game called Immortal King's Realm. 5 years ago, his brother vanished without a trace right after finishing the game. No matter how hard the family searched, he was never found. Only Song Yinching believed the game was somehow tied to his brother's disappearance. That's why he kept challenging the game's final boss, the Immortal King. This time, he had finally reached the second phase. After 5 grueling hours, he decapitated the Immortal King. By then, his body was completely drained. He could barely hold the controller. But to his horror, the boss wasn't dead yet. The boss's severed head regenerated before his eyes. Its entire body began to darken, corrupted by a sinister aura. With a thunderous roar, the Immortal King charged straight at Song Yinching. But he didn't flinch, not even a little. That long-lost feeling, it was the opening he'd been waiting for. If he unleashed his ultimate move now, victory would be his. He raised his blade and slashed forward with everything he had. Blinding flashes of sword light tore through the air. The boss was shredded into pieces by his devastating technique. At the same moment, the screen exploded with bullet comments from stunned viewers. Staring wide-eyed, he whispered, "I did it. I actually won. 5 years and 8 months, shut in this tiny room. No job, no friends. Even his parents had given up on him. But he had endured it all, and now he'd proven them wrong. Now he was going to uncover the truth behind this game, whatever secrets it was hiding." Suddenly, flames erupted on the computer screen. The fire grew larger, twisting and flickering. Then it morphed into the face of his brother. Overwhelmed, Song Yinching grabbed the monitor and shouted, "Brother, where have you been all these years? Why now? Tell me where you are. I'll come find you." The man on the screen grinned eerily. "Do you really want to see me?" Song Yinching's pupils contracted. You're not my brother. Who the hell are you?" In the next instant, a vortex spiraled in the man's eye. "Come, join the Immortal King's trial. Become the Immortal King, and you'll see me again." As soon as he spoke, an invisible force yanked Song Yinching toward the screen. He screamed in rage, "Trial my ass. Who are you? Where's my brother? Give him back." But it was too late. His body was pulled into the monitor, completely swallowed by the screen. When Song Yinching opened his eyes again, he realized he had become a white monkey? More precisely, a low-level monster from the game known as a bat monkey. He scanned his surroundings. No doubt about it. He was inside a scene from Immortal King's Realm. But why were there so many bat monkeys hiding along the cliff walls? And the spot he was standing in, it looked suspiciously like bait. Just then, a chill ran down his spine. He sensed a murderous presence. It was coming from the cave entrance. Moments later, a burly man with a massive broadsword stepped into view. Well, look at that. A lone white monkey? Rare breed, huh? The man grinned hungrily. Instinctively, Song Yinching let out a furious roar. This guy was dangerous. The fat man pointed at Song Yinching and laughed. "Look at that. It's growling at me. Kinda gutsy. Mind if I toy with it a bit?" A tall, skinny man stepped out, holding a bat monkey limb. His voice was jittery and crazed. "K, kill it. I want to eat. It never had a white one before." Then, without warning, he bit into the bloody flesh of the monkey limb. Song Yinching recoiled in horror. This psycho was literally eating raw bat monkey flesh. That meant he truly planned to eat him next. The thought made him gag. He threw up on the spot. Just then, another voice echoed from within the cave, annoyed and sharp. "You idiots. This is clearly a trap. Stop wasting time. Finish them off. I need to report back to the captain and claim credit." As the voice drew nearer, Song Yinching spotted a cage at the man's feet. Inside were 2 golden bat monkeys. And then it clicked. He remembered this scene from the game. Hunters accidentally stumbled into the bat monkey nest, captured the golden female, and returned with reinforcements to wipe out the entire cave. Without a player's intervention, the bat monkeys were doomed to die. Just as expected, the bat monkeys went berserk at the sight of the golden female. They lunged forward in a blind frenzy. Song Yinching shouted desperately, "Don't go. You're no match for them." But the monkeys didn't listen. The result? A one-sided massacre. Blood splattered across the cave floor. Soon enough, the fat man's gaze shifted toward him. Song Yinching dodged frantically. One hit from that broadsword, and he'd be pulp. The skinny guy called out impatiently, "Hey, stop messing around. Just finish it already." But the fat man grinned wickedly. "Don't rush me. Once we're back at camp, the captain won't let me play like this anymore. Look at this little monkey. He's hilarious." "Damn it," Song Yinching cursed. "That bastard sees me as a toy? Well, I'm not dying that easy. He reached out toward a wooden stick nearby. If he could just read the fat man's moves, then he'd find his opening and take this bastard down. Suddenly, the fat man appeared right behind Song Yinching like a ghost. Reacting on instinct, Song Yinching spun around and smashed his stick against the man's skull. The fat man paused for a moment, then gave a faint, almost amused smile. Song Yinching froze. That hit had done absolutely nothing. In the blink of an eye, the man swung his massive blade, sending Song Yinching flying. He slammed into the stone wall with a sickening crunch. A deep, gaping wound tore open across his chest. Worse still, he couldn't move. Was his spine broken? As his vision blurred, the fat man appeared again, this time as a speed-blurred phantom. And in the next instant, everything went black. He was dead. He didn't know how much time had passed, but suddenly, Song Yinching jolted upright. His first thought was, wait, my head's gone. He frantically reached up and patted his head. Huh, it's still here. He let out a deep sigh. Phew, just a dream. Scared the hell out of me. But then he noticed several people sitting nearby, just like him. His brows furrowed. Not a dream, huh? Then where the hell is this? The afterlife. Were these people summoned players too? Something about this place felt off. Suddenly, a thought struck him. Wait, if they're all players, then doesn't that mean my brother might be here too? He quickly scanned the crowd, checking every face. But no matter how hard he looked, his brother was nowhere to be seen. Just then, a shadow loomed behind him. A mocking voice sneered. Seriously? You died in the opening stage. The guy punctuated his insult with a swift kick to Song Yinching's side. Song Yinching slammed into the wall before finally coming to a stop. He roared, "What the hell's your problem? Why'd you kick me?" A rat-faced old man sauntered forward, sneering, "Watch your mouth, kid. I'm the administrator of this game. Your life and death are in my hands now. Show some respect, got it?" That voice, it sent a chill down Song Yinching's spine. He'd heard it before. It was the same one that impersonated his brother. He snapped, "You've seen my brother, haven't you? Tell me where he is." The rat man simply replied, "Do you even remember why you're here? I told you, become the immortal king, and you'll meet your brother. But you already died. According to the rules, that means you've lost your right to ascend." Song Yinching lowered his head. He's right. I was too weak. The moment blood was spilled, my mind was flooded with panic and fear. I couldn't become the immortal king, couldn't save my brother. Damn it. If only I'd stayed calm back there. The rat-faced man glanced at him, then smirked. "Lucky for you, I'm merciful. This game doesn't give you just one shot." Song Yinching's eyes lit up again, a flicker of hope returning. The rat man pointed behind him. "Look over there. See those 3 torches? Each one represents a life. You already died once, so one's been snuffed out. Once the other 2 go out, that's game over. No more second chances." Song Yinching turned to look. Sure enough, only 2 torches remained lit. "So, I have 2 lives left." The rat man sneered. "Don't get comfortable. This trial is brutal. That's the only reason the immortal king allows 3 lives. But if all 3 flames die out, your soul becomes mine. And what awaits you then is a never-ending hell of torment. Sound fun? Scared yet?" Song Yinching gave a calm smile. "Not at all. I came here to bring my brother back, alive and whole. Everything else, I'll deal with it when it comes." The rat man grunted, "Oomph. That's more like it." Suddenly, a soft chime rang out, ding, drawing the rat man's attention to the giant glowing orb behind him. One of the dots had begun to flash. Raising both hands, the rat man clapped sharply. A swirling portal of light burst open. "The respawn gate is open. I'm sending you back to the Bat Monkey Cavern. Remember, kid, you earned this chance by slaying a variant immortal king. Don't disappoint me." As soon as the words left the rat man's mouth, a beam of golden light struck Song Yinching. In the blink of an eye, he was transported back to the Bat Monkey Cavern. Staring at the familiar simian body, he muttered, "It really worked. I'm alive again." He frowned. No idea how much time has passed. Those hunters probably took the golden female and are heading for the exit. If they come back with reinforcements, this place is done for. No, I have to stop them. Now, with a powerful stomp, he launched himself forward, sprinting out of the cave like a white streak. Time for round 2 with those damn hunters. This time, I'll use the bat monkey's strengths properly and trap them here forever. Meanwhile, deeper inside the cavern, the fat man and his crew were already surrounded. "This has to be your doing, right?" Grabbing the golden female monkey by the hair, the fat man growled, "Tell your minions to clear the damn path, or we won't be so nice next time." The fat man turned to his lanky companion and grinned wickedly. Didn't the villagers say you weren't allowed near kids anymore? Well, lucky you. Today's your day. The skinny man twisted his face into a vile grin. Monkeys, baby monkeys. I like them. The mother monkey instantly panicked. You monsters. Stay away from him. Stop, don't hurt him. You bastards. You freaks. The baby monkey, unaware of the danger, just looked up curiously. The skinny man crouched down and whispered, Come play with me. The little monkey smiled, innocent and happy. But the next moment, the man opened his mouth wide, aiming to bite him. The mother's eyes filled with horror. No, stop. Just then, a flash of white light streaked through the cave entrance. Song Yinxing appeared in the nick of time, snatching the baby monkey away to safety. The skinny man froze in shock, then clutched his jaw in agony, screaming, my mouth is torn. Damn it. I can't eat meat anymore. The fat man stared at Song Yinxing in confusion. Weird. Didn't I just kill you? How the hell are you alive again? Actually, I think I've seen one like you before. Called himself a player summoned by the immortal king. Got all high and mighty with me, so I chopped him up 3 times. You another one of those? He shrugged. Doesn't matter. If you're not afraid of dying, I'll just kill you again. Takes a little more effort, that's all. With that, he lunged at Song Yinxing, blade raised. But this time, Song Yinxing had fully tapped into the bat monkey's greatest strength speed. As a rare white variant, he was even faster than the others, which was probably why he'd been chosen as bait. If he could properly harness this body's agility, he could defeat this human butcher. In a flash, he darted behind the fat man and raked his claws across his back, leaving 3 deep, bloody gashes. But the fat man's skin was even tougher than expected. He turned and grinned. Getting smarter? Huh? Realized we're not on the same power level, so you're going for a war of attrition. I like that. Makes things more fun. With that, he charged forward again, blade in hand. Song Yinxing's eyes sharpened. Fun, huh? Then let's make it unforgettable. He pushed his speed to the absolute limit, zipping around the fat man. He left claw mark after claw mark across his body. The fat man finally winced in pain, his expression twisting. Roaring, he raised his broadsword high and brought it crashing down in a mighty swing. But Song Yinxing rolled just in time, narrowly dodging the blow. After pulling back, Song Yinxing was more certain than ever. Just as he thought, the fat man's size severely limited his speed. His attacks were sluggish and reckless. Compared to the variant Immortal King? No, there was no comparison. This guy was nothing more than a glorified grunt. The fat man was visibly agitated now. Damn it, you're like a damn ant, crawling all over me. Biting, buzzing, driving me insane. Is this all you've got? Kill me if you can. But if I catch you, I'll twist your head off and see how you respawn then. Song Yinxing's eyes gleamed coldly. In a flash, he became a blur and charged. As you wish. He darted around the fat man in circles, slashing nonstop. It was like the guy had stepped into a living blender, cut after cut tearing into him. Moments later, the fat man let out a pained groan and collapsed heavily to the ground. One of the shorter hunters sneered. What's the matter? Our big bad where God just got wrecked? Can't even beat him, monkey. Gasping for breath, the fat man snapped. Shut the hell up. You want to watch me die? Get over here and help already. The short hunter chuckled, placing both hands on the bone club strapped to his back. All right, I'll help you out. Then, with a swift spin, he hurled the bone club through the air. Song Yinxing sidestepped easily, dodging it with no effort. But in the fat man's horrified eyes, the weapon came flying straight at him. A sickening crack, and the club smashed his skull to a pulp. The short man laughed heartily. Oops, my bad. Didn't mean to hit you in the head. Then he turned to Song Yinxing with a grin. Well, the ringleader's dead. No reason for us to keep fighting, right? You can have the golden female back. What do you say? Let's go in peace. Song Yinxing replied calmly. Sounds good. Saves us all a lot of trouble. But I do have one small favor to ask. He walked over to the fallen broadsword and picked it up. Back in the game, this was my specialty, heavy blades. Nothing fancy, just brute force. One swing after another until the boss dropped. But this isn't a game. The feel of real combat, it's bound to be different. So, I'd appreciate it if you two could help me test it out. Without waiting for a response, he charged forward, clearly in a no-holds-barred mood. The 2 hunters exchanged glances, then lunged at him. All right then, bring it on. The big-mouthed freak attacked first, lunging in with jaws wide open. Song Yinxing sidestepped and drove the blade straight through his chest. In a single, clean strike, the freak was dead. The short hunter swung his club at Song Yinxing with all his strength. But as the smoke cleared, Song Yinching was gone. A voice whispered behind him. Looking for me? Well, here I am. Time to say goodbye. The man panicked, stammering, wait. Don't be rash. How about a deal? If you let me leave. Not interested, Song Yinching cut him off coldly. You can rot here forever. With a swift slash, he slit the man's throat without hesitation. All 3 hunters dead. Just then, the rat-faced administrator appeared, clapping slowly. Impressive, kid. You cleared the first trial already. The immortal king chose well. You didn't hesitate. Swift and ruthless. Exactly what's needed. Most players fall apart their first time here. Some can't even move, let alone kill. But you? Cold as ice. Almost like this isn't your first kill. Song Yinching chuckled. Isn't that just part of the rules? Song Yinching said coldly. If you ask me, the one truly responsible for their deaths is the one who started this trial. Someone like you. The rat-faced man froze for a second, suddenly sensing something different. Had this kid's personality shifted? In the very next instant, Song Yinching lunged at him. You next. D. The rat man couldn't react in time. Song Yinching's blade sliced straight through his gut, cutting him in half. His body tumbled through the air like a rag doll, crashing down in pieces. Song Yinching burst into wild laughter. Immortal King, are you watching? Your so-called servant just got split in 2 by me. What a joke of a trial. Why don't you come out and fight me yourself? I chop you up, then I'm the Immortal King. Sound fair? But then, the rat man's mangled upper half stirred. His voice rang out cold and mocking. Ignorant brat. I am no mere lackey of the Immortal King, and I'm far from some pushover. You gotten cocky. Now let me show you what real power looks like. The rat man's waist and right arm suddenly sprouted grotesque, red tendrils of flesh, and his right hand grew monstrously large, mutated and pulsing with power. With a roar, he raised that monstrous hand and brought it crashing down on Song Yinching. In that moment, Song Yinching looked just like the Monkey King, pinned beneath the crushing weight of a massive 5-fingered mountain. After a pause, the rat man withdrew his power and sneered. So, feeling humbled? I've dealt with plenty of cocky players like you before. But you're the first to actually land a hit. Consider that a compliment. Just don't let it get to your head. Gritting his teeth, Song Yinching swore silently. Damn rat. Just wait. One day, I'll return this slap with interest. Suddenly, everything went black. And when he opened his eyes again, he had been loaded into a brand new body. Song Yinching looked around at the unfamiliar people surrounding him, then glanced down at himself. He appeared to be a hunter now. Suddenly, across the distant hillside, someone began waving signal flags frantically. A buck-toothed man nearby shouted, Captain, something's up. The flag's signals say, Damn, wolves, it's the Deep Rock Fish Wolves. The captain stayed calm and barked, I see it. Don't panic. All units, battle formation now. Deep Rock Fish Wolves incoming. Groups of 3, engage on sight. Cover each other at all times. Ballista team, hold until they're within 100 meters, then fire at will. Moments later, everyone saw them. Wolves with fish-like dorsal fins charging across the dusty plains, blood already staining their strange, scaled hides. The captain charged in first, shouting, Only 3 fish wolves. Everyone with me. The entire hunting party rushed forward behind him. Moments later, the hunters clashed with the Deep Rock Fish Wolves in a violent skirmish. The captain, wielding twin blades, held his ground against the lead fish wolf's brutal assault. But the other hunters weren't as skilled. Many were knocked aside like rag dolls. One of the wolves broke off and lunged straight for the ballista crew in the back. And the only one standing in its way was Song Yinching, the squad's greenest rookie. His brother's voice echoed in his mind. Never charge recklessly against a stronger enemy. Move with their rhythm. Watch for the weak point. That's how you strike where it hurts. Song Yinching leapt into the air, narrowly dodging the fish wolf's deadly lunge. As he landed, he gripped his spear tightly, then drove it straight into the creature's skull. The nearby hunters were stunned. Holy crap, that rookie just nailed it. Hit the artery dead on. That's insane. But instead of falling, the fish wolf went berserk. The spear was too small, more like a toothpick than a weapon against a beast like this. It barely did any damage. Song Yinching tried to pull the spear free to strike again, but the tip was stuck, jammed into the bone. The others began to panic. The wolf's going nuts. Somebody help him now. Just then, a figure burst onto the scene. He twisted through the air in a graceful spin, then brought his blade down hard, aimed right at the fish wolf skull. As he landed, The beast's head flew clean off, thudding to the ground in a spray of blood. The hunters erupted into cheers. "Captain, that was insane. You're a beast." Meanwhile, Song Yinching hit the ground with a heavy thud, winded. Staring at the headless corpse, he muttered in awe. He cut its head off in one strike. That was unreal. The captain walked over, gave him a pat, and said, "You sure know how to time your messes. Lucky it turned out all right this time. Next time you run into something like that, dodge first. Keep yourself alive. 1 or 2 fish wolves. I've got your back." "Got it." The captain turned to the rest of the team and announced, "Listen up. From now on, Xing Yi is officially part of Guard Squad 1. No more picking on him." "Got it." A guy with a circular birthmark patted Song Nianxing on the shoulder. "And not bad, kid. First day and already earned the captain's respect. Impressive." The team turned their attention to the fallen fish wolves. The captain barked out orders. "Half of you stay on watch. The other half clean up the battlefield. It's getting late. We're heading back soon." Watching the dead wolf, Song Nianxing thought to himself, survival of the fittest. So this is the world of the immortal king. I'd better get used to it. As the group began hauling the carcasses back to the village, memories of the game stirred in his mind. This place, it's Broken Rock Canyon. I remember fighting fish wolves here over 20 times. The layout burned into my brain. If I'm not mistaken, there's a major battle coming soon, and without a player's help, the hunters are doomed to lose. Just like in the Bat Monkey Cavern. Am I really about to face another death trap? A short while later, the group returned to the village. Cheers rang out at the gates. Squad 1 is back. Open the gates. Hurry. Villagers, young and old, men and women, rushed out to greet them with relief and joy. It was Song Yinching's first time seeing so many alive NPCs. It felt oddly real, like finally meeting longtime online friends in real life. Surreal, yet heartwarming. He spotted the captain approaching a woman and a little girl. "Xiaoro, come give daddy a hug." The captain beamed, arms wide open. Watching the scene, Song Yinching felt a pang in his chest. Everything's so peaceful right now. But if the game follows its original storyline, this village is doomed to be slaughtered. Just then, Bucktooth Bro appeared behind him, sighing wistfully. "The captain's got all. Beautiful wife, adorable daughter. I wish I had a life like that." Song Yinching responded casually, "Yeah, a healthy, happy family. That's all anyone could ask for." But Bucktooth Bro suddenly pouted. "What the hell, man? Don't you have a wife too?" Song Yinching froze, pointing at himself. "Wait, what did you say?" "I have a wife." Bucktooth Bro raised an eyebrow, confused. What's with this guy? Did he hit his head too hard? Forgot his own wife? Or is this just his weird way of showing off? Dude's acting like he's won the lottery. A little later, Bucktooth Bro led him to a small house. "All right, here it is. Found your place. We're gonna head out now." "Huh? You're not coming in with me?" Song Yinching asked, a little panicked. "Nah, I gotta go see my Mei. Later." And with that, he walked off without a care. Left standing at the door, Song Yinching hesitated. In his old life, he was never good with women. Aside from family, he'd barely spoken to any. Wait, wife means we sleep in the same bed, right? Which means I'm not a virgin anymore. The thought nearly made him collapse on the spot. Just then, the door swung open. "Why are you zoning out at the door? Get in already." Song Yinching scratched his head, unsure of what to say. The woman frowned slightly. "Turn around and talk to me properly." When he turned and finally got a look at her, his face instantly turned red. She was stunning, way more beautiful than he had imagined. "You're home now. Don't just stand there. Come in before someone starts worrying." He stepped inside and nervously sat on the edge of the bed, when suddenly a hand reached toward him. "Hold still," the voice said as the hand gently touched his cheek, then slid down to his abs, and finally tapped his thigh. That's when an elderly woman clapped and beamed. Good, good. My grandson is amazing. First fight with a fish wolf and not a scratch on him. Turns out, Grandma's eyesight wasn't what it used to be. That's why she used touch to check if he was injured. Not long after, a whole roast suckling pig was brought to the table, prepared specially to celebrate his first day as a member of the guard. Just as he was about to pick up his chopsticks, his wife cleared her throat with a sharp double cough. "Manners." Song Yinching instantly straightened his posture. So strict, he thought. He then saw her serve the first bite of pork to Grandma. And just like that, the three of them sat down and began their quiet family meal. It reminded him of how his own family used to be peaceful, everyone gathered at the table. But ever since his brother disappeared, that warmth had been replaced by shouting, blame, and resentment. The pressure had slowly suffocated everything until their home felt cold and broken. His parents grew distant, and he shut himself in his room. How long had it been since he had a proper meal like this? A shiver ran down Song Yinching's spine as the thoughts weighed on him. Abruptly, he set down his bowl and chopsticks and muttered, "I need to step out." Then he rushed out the door without another word. Grandma looked worried. Why did he leave in such a hurry? His wife gently reassured her. Maybe he remembered something urgent with the guard squad. "Don't worry, he'll be back soon." Her voice was calm, but her gaze was strangely certain. But the truth was simple. Until he found his brother, there was no way he could sit down and enjoy a peaceful meal. He scanned the area, searching for a way out. Staying here meant waiting for death. He had to get stronger, fast. Eventually, he found a section of the village fence and prepared to climb it. Damn, that's high. Feels way taller than it looked during the day. At least 3 or 4 stories. What I do once I'm out? Look for a mentor? Go solo? I can't just sit around hoping for a miracle like some storybook protagonist. Whatever. Anything's better than waiting around to die. Just as Song Yinching began to climb the fence, a voice called out behind him. "Hey there, little brother. You might want to think twice. These mountains are crawling with monsters and demons at night. Step out there, and you'll be their midnight snack, bones and all." Song Yinching turned sharply, glaring at the source. "Hiding on that rock in the middle of the night? Who the hell are you?" The man simply chuckled. "You're asking who I am?" Then, without warning, he leapt off the stone pillar. A brat who trespasses into this village dares to demand someone's name first. "I've been waiting for you. Player, right?" As he neared the ground, he suddenly stopped midair, suspended, his body glowing with blue flames. Song Yinching's eyes widened. That move, Sky Source Step. He's a cultivator. Without hesitation, he turned to flee. This guy's dangerous. Gotta get out now. But the man was faster, cutting him off with a grin. "Ah, don't be like that. We just said hello. At least stay and chat a bit." Without saying a word, Song Yinching launched a palm strike straight at the man. "Ha ha. Fiery temper you've got there," the man laughed. "But that's not how you throw a proper palm strike. It's more like this." With a casual wave, he struck Song Yinching right in the stomach. The impact sent Song Yinching flying backward through the air. As he hit the ground, he groaned. "No way. That wasn't a palm strike. That was a freaking judo throw. Oops, he didn't mean to hit that hard. You okay?" Song Yinching grimaced. "Yeah, right. Like that wasn't on purpose. I can still feel the roast pig trying to come back up." The man smiled kindly. "Relax. I'm the village chief. I'm here to guide players like you." Song Yinching blinked in disbelief. "Wait, he's the village chief? Seriously?" The two sat down and began to chat. Song Yinching asked, "Honestly, you scared the hell out of me earlier. I thought you were another player. How do you know I was one?" The man chuckled. "Players show up in our village every few years. When I heard you soloed a fish wolf today, I had a hunch. The original Xing, it was just a rookie. No way he could have handled that like a pro. Makes sense? But still, you're nothing like the village chief, I remember. Wasn't the Red Rock village chief supposed to be some old guy with catfish whiskers?" "Ah, the version of the Immortal King's realm you played and the version we live in, they're not the same. Your game shows an outdated snapshot of this world, but we've kept evolving. As for your whiskered village chief, all right, that was the 3rd village chief. That was over 120 years ago." Song Yinching's jaw dropped. 120 years ago? So 1 year in my world equals 20 years here? That means it's been ages. Finding my brother's trail is going to be nearly impossible. The man laughed. "You've asked me all the questions. Now it's my turn. How many dead zones have you been through so far?" "You don't know? The dead zones, those life or death scenario arcs. How many have you survived?" Song Yinching thought for a moment, then quietly held up 2 fingers. Song Yinching straightened up. "This is my 2nd dead zone trial. I still don't fully understand how the Immortal King's test works. Please, could you explain it to me?" The man gave a mock serious grin. "Huh, no need to be so formal. I'll tell you everything I know. It's part of my job, after all." In simple terms, the Immortal King's trial is a series of body-jumping scenarios. You enter someone else's body and live through the life or death crisis they're facing. If you survive the dead zone, your soul gets stronger. Depending on how well you do, you might also earn magical skills, powerful relics, or weapons. Each trial gets harder and harder, pushing you toward the point where you're strong enough to rival the Immortal King himself. But if you fail, if you die, or get stuck inside a trial for too long, well, I think you already know what happens. That's all I can share. So, any guesses where your current dead zone is? Song Yinching's mind raced. If this world is following the game's storyline, then I think I know. It's the White Wolf King. According to the game's storyline, Red Rock Village would be wiped out by a swarm of fish wolves. But with a player's intervention, their success rate drops significantly. If a true dead zone were to happen, the only possible trigger would be the arrival of the White Wolf King. The village chief's expression darkened. You look pale. Is this dead zone going to be that bad? Song Yinqing hesitated, then asked, Village Chief, are we, the players, actually bringing disaster to your world? Lumen sighed. So that's what's been on your mind? Maybe you should think of it differently. If the disaster is inevitable, then maybe your arrival is our chance to survive it. I once swore before my ancestors, I'd protect this village and everyone in it, no matter what. Listen to me, player. You're part of the guard now. No matter what kind of dead zone comes our way, you'll face it with me. We protect this village together. Got it? Song Yinqing stared at him, heart stirred. He kind of reminds me of my brother. Of course, he smiled. We've got each other's backs, right? Ha, just like it should be. Suddenly, the chief broke into a cold sweat. Song Yinqing's eyes widened. What's wrong? The man shouted, cover your ears now. He's coming. But it was already too late. A piercing scream tore through the air, so sharp it nearly made Song Yinqing bleed from the ears. As the piercing sound faded, Song Yinqing gasped for air, his ears still ringing. What the hell was that? That scream was terrifying. It's the Deathbird, the village chief explained. There's one sealed at the western cliffs. Its presence keeps the nocturnal beasts from going berserk at night. Anyway, it's getting late. I need to head home. You should, too. Training starts early tomorrow. Song Yinqing blinked. Huh, that's it. I still have a ton of questions. The chief laughed as he waved goodbye. As tomorrow, my wife's screech is scarier than the Deathbird's. I'm not sticking around to get roasted. Later, left alone in the quiet night, Song Yinqing mulled over the chief's words. So, I really have to survive the dead zones to grow stronger? This is way more intense than a game. White Wolf King, huh? I'm not dying to some oversized mutt. Just wait, you'll see. But what he didn't know was that the village chief hadn't gone home. Instead, he silently appeared at the doorway of Song Yinqing's house. A woman's voice came from inside. Done testing him? Yes, master. The chief replied respectfully. All signs point to a naive beginner. He knows nothing of the real situation, and his powers haven't awakened. As of now, he poses no threat to you. I see. Then you've done well. It's my duty, the chief said with a bow, before vanishing into the darkness in a flash of blue light. A newbie, huh? Then there's no need to kill him for now. 7 days later, Song Yinqing had already grown accustomed to life in Red Rock Village, and to living in the body of his host, Xing Yi. One morning, he was jolted awake by a thunderous crash. It was quickly followed by the sound of furious yelling from the house next door. Xing Shantian, you've been sneaking out again, haven't you? Always crawling back at ungodly hours. Today I swear I'll kill you. I swear I'm innocent, honey. Totally innocent. Innocent? You reek of perfume, you lying toad. The village chief turned his head slightly, and from the look on his face, he already knew his doom was sealed. Sure enough, the next moment, he was sent flying by a single punch from his wife. Watching from his window, Song Yinqing broke into a cold sweat. Damn, the chief wasn't kidding. His wife really is scarier than the Deathbird. Just then, his own wife gently knocked on the door to wake him up. Compared to the horror next door, Song Yinqing felt downright blessed. Today's your squad's turn to guard the village, she said kindly. You should head to the mountains early. Red Rock Village had 2 squads of guards that rotated every 10 days. One team would go on patrol, while the other stayed behind to protect the village. During their duty period, the squad members took turns standing guard and underwent grueling daily training. 10 miles of mountain running, 100 push-ups with weights, and 2 hours of post-driving drills. Then we finish off with sparring matches between squad mates. Today, Song Yinqing was paired with a tall and muscular woman. She grinned at him, saying, First time sparring together, huh? Don't go easy on me, just because I'm a woman. Bring it on. Song Yinqing narrowed his eyes. There was something oddly familiar about her face. When he finally recognized her, his expression turned to pure panic. Wasn't this the village chief's wife? He turned to the captain in horror. You actually paired me with the chief's wife. Are you trying to get me killed? The captain looked away, trying to sound casual. What are you yelling for? She's the only female in the squad. I'm doing you a favor, newbie, don't be ungrateful. Without another word, the captain smirked and waved his hand. Sparring match began. In the very next second, the village chief's wife launched a barrage of punches like a raging storm. Her fists moved so fast that Song Yinching could barely tell which one was real. As he dodged frantically, he began to realize something. Despite her ferocity, her movements were still bound by the limitations of her size and brute force. She wasn't truly fast. He could keep up, but just as he thought he was gaining the upper hand, she suddenly swung her arm like a wrecking ball. Bam! He couldn't dodge in time and got slammed square in the chest, flying through the air like a rag doll. The rest of the squad rushed over in panic to check on him. That punch really landed? You think he's dead? Someone muttered. The captain scratched his head innocently. I thought this kid was supposed to be special. Couldn't even dodge that. Looks like he'll be out of commission for a few days. Meanwhile, Song Yinching lay on the ground, his face bruised and swollen, groaning in pain. Oh God, that hurts like hell. The village chief's wife watched as Song Yinching slowly got back on his feet. Well, not bad, rookie. You're still standing? Didn't break anything, did you? Haha, tough little guy. Still want to keep going? Of course. But first, answer me something. How many deep rock fawn wolves can you handle on your own? Though puzzled by the sudden question, she answered truthfully, barely one. Honestly, no one here but the captain would dare take them on alone. Hearing this, Song Yinching fell deep into thought. Even she can only take on one, and I'm going up against the White Wolf King soon. At this rate, I'm doomed. I need to push this body to its limits now. Having made up his mind, he began stretching and warming up. After I beat the chief's wife, I'm going to spar with the captain. His words stunned both the wife and the captain. They hadn't expected his sights to be set that high. The other squad members were just as shocked. Rabbit Teeth Guy gawked. Did I hear that right? He wants to spar with the captain. This rookie's nuts. Come on then. If you've got the guts, let's see it. Meanwhile, another hunting squad from the village had returned. The bearded man ordered his men to deliver the prey to the warehouse, then led a few others up to the training hill where Song Yinching's group was sparring. Just as they arrived, they caught sight of the village chief's wife being knocked back several steps. The scene stunned him. He hadn't expected her to be on the defensive. Enraged, she leapt forward and launched a fierce kick at Song Yinching. You shameless brat. But instead of panicking, Song Yinching calmly threw a handful of sand straight at her face. She exploded in fury. How dare you? Using sand like that. What kind of dirty trick is this? You've really done it now? I'm going to teach you a lesson. Before she could finish her rant, another blast of sand hit her square in the face. Watching her chase him while getting pelted with sand, some of the squad members couldn't help laughing. One even asked, Captain, is this still considered sparring? The captain just shrugged. No one ever taught him the sparring rules. He's running on pure instinct. That's how real battles work. Monsters out there don't play fair. He wants a win, but tricks like that are just stalling tactics. Against overwhelming power, they won't hold up for long. But Song Yinching had his own strategy. He kept dodging the village chief's wife's attacks, all while maneuvering to get behind her and locking in a grappling move. With a sudden twist, he brought her crashing to the ground. Using every ounce of strength he had, he yanked her right arm in a tight submission hold. The village chief's wife cried out in pain, Stop! Stop! It's about to snap! I surrender! The captain raised his voice. First round. Victory goes to Xing Yi. Beaming, Song Yinching turned to the captain and said, So? I won. The captain just scoffed. Cheap tricks. If she had gone all out from the start, you'd be face down already. Oh yeah? Then let's keep going, until I'm not the one falling anymore. The captain paused, then smirked. This kid, stubborn as hell. Just like me when I was younger. Just then, the bearded man strolled over and said, Bold enough to talk back. Huh? This new guy of yours isn't ordinary. Xing Ming. He even wants to spar with you? Looks like you've really gotten old. Rookies dare challenge you now. Xing Ming turned around, clearly irritated. I'll handle my own recruits. Mind your damn business. The bearded man laughed loudly. Ha ha. Look at you now. Where's all that fire from back in the day? What happened? Getting soft? Heard you almost let a fish wolf get away the other day. Wasn't it the rookie who bailed you out? I just took down 8 fish wolves on this hunt. Count him 8. How's that for capability? As he bragged, a handful of sand suddenly smacked the back of his head. Furious, he turned to see who dared pull such a stunt, only to get another face full of sand. You throwing sand at me? What's your damn problem, punk? Though pinned down by the bearded man's men, Song Yinching grinned and taunted. Sounds like you're better than our captain. How about you spar with me instead? The bearded man snapped. Xing Ming, is this how you discipline your recruits? No manners at all. Xing Ming sneered. This rookie's got some fire. How about you help me discipline him a little? Xing Yin raised an eyebrow. Trying to rope me into training your soldiers? Huh, not falling for that one. But before he could respond, a fistful of sand smacked the back of his head. His face twisted with rage. In a flash, he drew the blade at his side, eyes burning. You damn brat. You're the one asking for it. Since you want to spar, don't cry when I go all out. Xing Meng's face darkened. Shit, this idiot's serious. He's really going in for the kill. With a roar, Xing Yin charged at Song Yinqing, blade raised high. Come on, boy. Let's see if you can handle this old man's strike. As Xing Yin charged forward, Song Yinqing suddenly raised a hand, shouting, Hold on a second. Xing Yin pointed at him and burst into laughter. What's wrong, scare now? Just like your captain. Nothing but a spineless coward. The second squad joined in the mockery, jeering, Look at that. First squad's full of chickens. Xing Meng's face flushed with shame. Damn it. Is this brat really gonna wimp out and leave me to clean up the mess? Embarrassing. But Song Yinqing calmly grabbed Xing Yan's wrist and grinned. Easy there, Vice Captain, no need to rush. 447. He turned to the crowd and shouted, A broadsword. Can someone lend me a big sword? The crowd looked puzzled. A broadsword? What's he need that for? Didn't he usually use a spear? Just then, a large blade flew through the air and landed at his feet. It was from Captain Xing Meng. Take mine. Just don't embarrass me too badly. I've got a reputation to keep. Song Yinqing picked up the blade and examined it, remaining silent. Xing Meng raised a brow. What? Not good enough for you. Song Yinqing sighed. Captain, this blade's too small. And way too short. I asked for a big sword. A real broadsword. Bunny teeth and curly locks exchanged a look. Too small? Not long enough. Even second squad cracked up. Ha ha. How does he know the first squad captain's not long enough? One of the teammates suddenly pulled out a massive sword from behind his back. This is the biggest blade in the whole village. 5 feet long, 80 pounds. Better hold on tight. The moment Song Yinqing grabbed it, his arm dropped with the weight. Yup, heavy as hell. The bearded man burst into laughter, mocking Xing Meng. Come on, your guy can't even lift the blade. Call it off already. Xing Meng snapped back. He hasn't even swung yet. Save your trash talk. Struggling to steady the sword, Song Yinqing finally found his footing, though the guy who lent it to him was already regretting it. Why do I suddenly feel like lending him this sword was a huge mistake? Someone shouted, Look, he's striking a pose. Oh no, I can't unsee this. What the heck is that stance? He's got the blade on his back like he's some anime character. Is that even a real move? But Xing Meng's eyes widened. Wait, that a back blade stance. Meanwhile, Song Yinqing stood tall, eyes blazing. I'm ready. Come at me, second squad leader. Even the bearded man hesitated, stunned by the bizarre pose. He's actually letting me strike first? Is this kid mocking me? TCH, you're pushing it, Brad. With a roar, the man lunged forward, sword raised high. But in the next instant, Song Yinqing gripped the hilt tightly and spun like a blazing wheel of fire and steel. The bearded man's attack was instantly deflected, his blade bouncing off the spinning force. Song Yinqing moved so fast, the guy couldn't even get close. One of the second squad guys shouted, Hey, first squad, what kind of spinning turtle tactic is that? That's pure cheating. Rabbit Tooth and Circle Bro wiggled their hips mockingly. So what? What are you going to do about it? Look, Xing Yi's still dominating the fight. Every time the second squad leader's blade touches that huge sword, it gets knocked away. The weight difference is insane. Circle Bro leaned over and teased. Your captain can't even fight back / the other guy snapped. TCH, he's just abusing that oversized weapon. He keeps spinning like that. He's bound to get dizzy soon. Then our captain will take over. At that moment, even the bearded captain realized, his speed's slowing down. Is he finally running out of steam? But then, wham! Song Yinqing suddenly swung the massive blade right at him. Though the bearded man dodged just in time, a chunk of his hair was sliced clean off. One of the second squad guys yelled, Didn't he struggle just to lift that sword? How the hell did he swing it so fast? Was he faking it this whole time? That's dirty, totally unfair. While most people didn't catch it, Xing Yi's captain, Xing Meng, narrowed his eyes. That move, it's a kick blade technique. He didn't rely on brute strength. He used his heel to boost the blade's speed right as he swung it. Where the hell did he learn stuff like that? Once Song Yinqing adapted to the sword's weight, he slowly shifted from defense to offense, pushing the bearded man back step by step. Damn it, that blade's way too fast and heavy. I can't block this thing at all. And the worst part, he never even lifts it off the ground. Every swing's powered by momentum and precision. For a newbie fresh out of training to pull this off, Is he even human? In the very next moment, Song Yinching's strike knocked the bearded man's sword clean out of his hand. The man stared at his empty palm in shock. He disarmed me. This kid's combat instinct, it's insane. He's a natural-born fighter. Tossing off his coat, he growled, "All right, brat. I underestimated you. But now, I'm done playing around." With a sharp metallic clang, a hidden blade snapped out from beneath his right forearm. A second squad member shouted, "There it is. The captain's real weapon, his twin elbow blades. Let's go, Captain. Show him your real power." Seeing this, Xing Ming frowned and said, "It's just a sparring match. Isn't this a bit too serious?" The bearded man scoffed. "Easy for you to say. What about my pride? Tremble, brat." Song Yinching's expression darkened. He could feel the shift. The man's entire aura had changed. A suffocating pressure crashed down on him. It felt like he was facing a giant cobra, one that was ready to strike and swallow him whole.